What's up, everybody? Tonight, we're going to talk about the Zone and Pro Box TV cards and much more when we come right back. Welcome to another episode of Ringwalk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean, and tonight we're going to jump right on in because we're running just a little itty bitty behind schedule. So we're going to just go ahead and have some fun because there's plenty to talk about in boxing. And keep in mind, y'all, I have to say this. We all grown men, grown women, we grown adults. So let's keep our conversation respectful. Don't have to be overly, let your emotions take over and just, we don't need all that. This is just talk boxing. I mean, everybody want to agree with you. We all think differently, and we're just here to have a good time because we all, at the end of the day, are here because we all are fans of the sport of boxing. All right, so make sure you check out In Your Face magazine. I believe there is a online version of this too. I have to reach back out to my cousin Trill and Kev McFly. But In Your Face magazines in the local area of Cincinnati, all the way up to Cleveland, Ohio. But we want to let it be known all around the world. So, if it's online, you can look it up and check out the Ringwalk Boxing Podcast article in there amongst some other things. All right, y'all. Also, I want to say shout outs to my dude over at Ozzy Catering in Cincinnati. If you use Ozzy's Catering, please tell him Ringwalk Boxing Podcast sent you. Also, recently I was out in Zone 15 a week or two ago. So I got to see some guys I haven't seen in some years. So I want to give some shout outs to my Zone 15 family, Papa, D Brown, Ace, Pooh, the rest of my Lincoln Heights family, my cousin, DJ, Bunk, Brandon, Mario, Albert, Richard, and my Laurie family, my Price family, the Grissom, Frierson, and the Lackey and Carter families, all out in Zone 15 on my mom and dad's side of the family. Shout outs to my cousin Dirty Red in Zone 15. Shout outs to my Woodline family, Spark, my big brother, Maceo, Taymont, Rue, T-Red, and of course my Lachlan family as well. My cousin Juan, Mel, and them, Big Zoe, Tez on lockdown, be home soon. So shout out to the Smith family as well, my extended family for sure. All right, so let's jump right into this, y'all. And make sure you hit the thumbs up, please. Hit that thumbs up button, y'all, as you enter the chat. I know a lot of people have been waiting to talk boxing because there's so much going on, right? It was a good card last night. It was like 3 different cards. We had the Zone, had like 2 different things going down. And then we had Pro Box TV last night. So I was kind of going back and forth because I had my phone playing Pro Box on my phone. And then I had the Zone on my screen on my TV. So I was trying to like go back and forth and just catch a little bit of each fight on different platforms at one time, trying to multitask. And it was really good, y'all. I definitely saw some very entertaining fights last night. I saw the four round fight with Wale versus Andre Johnson. To me, Johnson wasn't busy enough in that fight. He was fighting in spurts, but he kept going back against the ropes a little too much for my liking. And he kept losing his mouthpiece more than once, like several times. He kept losing his mouthpiece, and the ref had to get the mouthpiece and clean it off for him and place it back in his mouth. So it got to the point where I thought maybe a point deduction might incur. And right in the last round, the fourth round, his mouthpiece comes out again. And the ref let the fight continue because it was like maybe 15, 20 seconds left. And he let the fight continue to the end of the fourth round. And in the end, it came to a decision, and KJ Walleye won by unanimous decision. Shout outs to KJ Walleye that fought last night. Another fight on the MVP the zone bantamweight. Galai versus Hernandez. You had a back and forth fight with Hernandez with his Mexican front foot aggressive style, and Galai with with her boxing and moving style. Made it a good style matchup. In the end, Galai, she was a quicker fighter with faster hands and feet and was able to land more punches. Galai won by unanimous decision. Also, the Walton versus Mora 6-round fight. Lightweight bout. Walton won by a unanimous decision in a good fight. I also had a chance to kind of, in the mix of all the boxing fights I watched. I watched a few interviews on different, on YouTube. The Danza Project, shout out to the Danza Project. They had a interview with Richardson Hitchens. And Richardson Hitchens, he made a lot of references to Tank versus Shakur Stevenson. He also stated the fact that he was friends with both guys. So he cool with Tank, but in the same aspect, he's cool with Shakur Stevenson, right? So he's kind of the type of person, like I like his personality, because he's like, look, if these two guys were to fight, I couldn't pick. He said I couldn't pick a side. I couldn't say that Tank. He pretty much said I could see why Tank could possibly win, but I could also see why Shakur could possibly win. So he's kind of like down the middle and on the fence about it. Kind of like me myself, you know. I'm on the fence about it. I'm like, I looked at the fight. I went back and watched the fight last weekend with my pops. We watched boxing from like 3 o'clock to midnight, from 3 p.m. to midnight. One of the fights I had him watch was Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. Now, what I've noticed in that fight, yes, for the most part, Shakur was very defensively responsible. But there were certain lapses or links in his defense that I felt like if he had those same lapses with Tank Davis, I could see where Tank Davis may knock him out. So let me further explain. Basically, there were times where William Zepeda had Tank against the ropes. Do you recall the time? I don't remember exactly what round, but when Tank was against the ropes, Zepeda hit him with like a hook, and he almost, got knocked out. He kind of caught himself, and that's why after the fight, if y'all remember, Shakur Stevenson's his own daughter said, "You almost got knocked out." Remember that? So I feel like if we have a similar scenario where we know Tank is going to know to cut off the ring, and by no means is Tank slow on his feet. Tank's not like most power punchers where he has a plodding footwork. Tank has decent footwork, so he can get from point A to point B a lot faster than a normal power puncher. He's going to cut off that ring. Tank can also fight going backwards as well, and he still carries his power on the back foot. So I feel like Shakur is not going to engage with Tank like he would take chances and roll the dice against William Zepeda. Tank is a different beast. Tank doesn't throw as much volume as William Zepeda, but when Tank does throw, he throws with such velocity and momentum that if he lands flush on Shakur, all it's going to take is that one shot. It don't have to be on the chin. It could be on the body. It could be a body shot to the rib, to the liver. Tank has raw power. So to me, I definitely hope, because we saw seeing the Twitter back and forth on Twitter, Shakur Stevenson saying what he said about Tank Davis. Tank Davis clapping back on Twitter saying this about Shakur Stevenson. It's all well and good for entertainment, right? But what we want to do is see these two guys in the actual ring together in the beginning of 2026. We're tired of the what ifs, like, well, what if Tank catches him, or what if Shakur is that elite defensively to where he can maneuver and outpoint him. We won't know until the two guys get in the ring. Now, a lot of people feel that Tank will never, ever fight Shakur Stevenson. If I give my opinion, I'm of the belief that Tank would fight Shakur Stevenson. Richardson Hitchens said in the interview that he talked to Tank before in the past. Like, look, Tank, I feel like Shakur is a fight that you must fight. I feel like you have to fight him to kind of solidify everything. Because right now, as it stands, you have a lot of people, shout outs to my dude Mike Ware and others, that feel like Tank hasn't done this. Tank is ducking all the best opposition. Tank is choosing to fight Jake Paul in lieu of all these other guys. Well, shout outs to Cam J Network, y'all. He made a good point. It kind of balances out that what Cam J said kind of balances out the argument. Okay, everybody's so stuck on Tank Davis, on what he's not doing or what they feel he should do, how he should move, and this, that, and the other, right? Are we keeping the same energy with Shakur Stevenson? That's the question, and that is a perspective that Cam J put out there, y'all. And I'm feeling where he was going with that, because it's like, yeah, there's a lot of people that can say Shakur Stevenson, his resume is no better than Tank Davis. So I mean, at the end of the day, you can't say one thing about one guy like you're laying into him for what you feel like he's not doing, but then you say nothing about this guy over here. It's like, if you're going to be fair, and if accountability is accountability, then you need to go with a fine-tooth comb and go back and look at the fights with Shakur Stevenson. You know, who knows? Shakur Stevenson might be that guy that's going to step up and fight everybody else there is to fight at 135 or whatever. But as of right now, he really hasn't done a whole lot. And he's fought styles, to me, that are suited for his style. You know, even though Zepeda was cool or whatever and gave him a rough fight, to me, Zepeda ain't no Tank Davis. So yeah, we're gonna see what's going on, y'all, for sure, because there's a whole lot that has been said, you know, as far as that's going. Also, I like the fact that Bozzy Ennis, the dad of Boots Ennis, is working with Jack Catterall. Hopefully he can help him with certain things to make his game better in that ring. You know, sometimes certain coaches, certain teachers, they have a certain angles and certain ways they demonstrate and train fighters. And sometimes certain chemistries go like a hand in glove, like it's so perfectly. Like I like the fact that I saw Jonathan Banks, the trainer of Caroline Dubois. You know, I want to say Jonathan Banks is from the old school of the Crunk gym out of Detroit, Michigan, up north. And Caroline Dubois has a somewhat aggressive style. I feel like the Crunk style is perfect for her because she's on her offense a lot. She's on that front foot a lot. I think she's going to give a lot of other female boxers problems. And I think Jonathan Banks has that type of recipe for her style that's going to bring out the best of what she already has. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what y'all think. Do you like Jonathan Banks being the trainer of Caroline Dubois, the sister of Daniel Dubois? Let me know in the chat. And shout outs to everybody here right now. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. I'm going to read all the chats. I'm just trying to go through a few of these fights real quick. But I'm not leaving y'all hanging. I got nothing but love for y'all. All right, so we had Najee Lopez versus Calvin Henderson. Now, that was on the Pro Box main TV card, the main event card on Pro Box TV. Najee Lopez advances to 15-0 with no draws, right? In the light heavyweight division, pretty much the first few rounds was Najee just keeping a steady pace, staying in the pocket, but keeping it at a distance to where his opponent, when Calvin was going to throw, he was trying to come back with a counterpunch or was going to deflect and, slip a punch or whatever. So Najee kind of stayed within a certain range, popping a double jab, sometimes a triple jab. And I just knew it. I could see it the whole time. I'm like, okay, soon as that little small window of opportunity arouses, Najee Lopez is going all in. He was just waiting for the opportunity to catch Calvin Henderson slipping. And he did that in round 5, right? So round 5, he catches him, what I call the buzz shot. The buzz shot that hits you and it rings your bell. Once he saw that he was hurt and read his body language, he pounced right on him with a plethora of punches that had Calvin Henderson on jelly legs. And the ref, seeing what I saw, he intervened and stepped in and called the fight and waved it off. I know Henderson wanted to contest and he probably wanted to still fight, man, but hey, he was in pretty bad shape, man. And Najee Lopez can hit. I'm happy the ref stepped in, man, because sometimes you got to save a boxer from himself. Boxers have a warrior's mentality, and sometimes they want to continue the fight. When me and you, the viewer, can see, and the ref can see, that, hey, man, they're taking way too much punishment right now. So shout out to the ref. I don't remember his name, but shout out to the referee who stepped in on Pro Box TV and stopped the onslaught that came from Najee Lopez that he pressed upon Calvin Henderson. Definitely was a good fight for the 5 rounds that it landed. Also on the zone yesterday, Ben Crocker fought Sean McComb for the IBF European Super Lightweight Champion. I'm going to have to run that fight back. But for those who are here like me, I just want to put it out there that the fight is out there on YouTube, possibly, or at least the highlights are out there, right? So one of many upcoming fights: Frank the Ghost Martin versus Francis Bartholomew at 140 pounds. Martin is now stepping up to 140 pounds in the super lightweight division, and him and Francis Bartholomew will get it on October the 25th. I like Frank Martin for sure. He's athletic. He'll definitely fit right in at 140 easily because he has that size. He was big at 135. You know, Frank Martin is a big dude. I think that Francis Bartholomew will give him some rounds. You know, a little bit taller, a little bit lankier, probably more reach. So I think that it won't take long for Frank Martin to find his range against Francis Bartholomew. But I feel like it's going to be a good fight to where it'll last a few rounds and definitely to where Frank Martin, who has not been in the ring for a while, he'll get some rounds in against Francis Bartholomew. Also, another big upcoming fight, October 25th. We're going to have Frazier Clark versus TKV. You're going to also have the fight with Parker versus Fabio Wardley, Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley, and the Towering Inferno, a.k.a. Sebastian Fundora versus one-time Keith Thurman. Me and my bro was talking about right before the fight. He was looking at some pictures and looking at Keith Thurman stepping up on a chair in the face-off against the much taller Sebastian Fundora. We know how Keith Thurman is, y'all. He stays with his antics. He's definitely a showman when it comes to the boxing thing. And I'm looking forward to this fight. Because I'm hearing mixed views. Some people say Fundora is going to win because he's so difficult and so tall. You know, with his long reach, his long limbs. But there's a couple of people that feel like Keith Thurman's going to win. So I want to know in this chat room, if Keith Thurman's going to win, let me know. What is your reason on why Keith Thurman will win? If you feel like Keith Thurman's going to lose and you feel like Sebastian Fundora is going to win, please let it be known in the chat room on why Fundora is going to win. Give me your prediction on how you feel like the fight's going to end. Will it be a decision win? Will it be a stoppage, a TKO stoppage, or will it be a knockout? I want to know. Some people feel like Thurman may knock out the much taller Sebastian Fundora. I've been hearing it different ways. So it definitely builds up the intrigue about that style matchup. You know, Keith Thurman has some good skills, but at the same time, Sebastian Fundora has good skills as well. You can't sleep on Sebastian Fundora by no means. You know what I'm saying? By no means do you want to sleep on him. All right, y'all, hold on, my chat room family. I'm gonna get to these chats here. All right, y'all. Shout outs to Brandon Martindale. What's going on, bro? I can't wait for you to join either, bro. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be putting a link in this chat. Once we put the link in there, Brandon, hit that link and follow the prompts, and you will be able to come on. Shout outs to my family. Shout outs to Cam J Network. He's family. He's also my networking family when it comes to boxing. So salute to Cam J Network. Cam J said, Tank a stop Shakur. Well, I feel the same way, family. And this is something we need to talk about. So hopefully you'll be able to come on today. Because I know it's a few people out here that says Tank is going to be a duck. He's not going to fight, this, that, and the other. Shout outs to Lamont Roach Jr., who's going to be fighting Pitbull Cruz. Shout out to Pitbull Cruz. And I want y'all to know, Pitbull Cruz is not going to be as easy as y'all think. I mean, yes, Lamont Roach can he can outwit him. He's the better boxer. But Pitbull has a very good chin, and Pitbull is relentless. So Lamont Roach Jr. better be ready to be in the pocket, be up against the ropes, and he better know that Pitbull is coming like a windstorm. When Pitbull's in that ring, it ain't no, I'm trying to win on points, I'm trying to be technical. Pitbull is coming like a Pitbull. He's going to be savage. So the Pitbull versus Lamont Roach Jr. is definitely a good style matchup. It's definitely a good style matchup for sure. Now, one fight that I'm not too intrigued about, all like that. I love seeing Boots in his fight, but his opponent, Lima, I'm just not so sure about. A lot of people are having issues with that fight. Like, okay, they feel like Boots should be stepping up his opposition. So we'll see. We'll see how this fight, how it all goes. But I feel like Boots is going to win. You know what I mean? It's like the type of fight when you hear the two names put together, you kind of already know who's going to win. You know what I mean? And I feel like Boots should win that pretty easily, really. And then you got in the mix of all the stuff going on in boxing, Teofimo Lopez out here running his mouth as if he wants to smoke with Shakur Stevenson. A lot of people feel like T.O. is just doing this and capping. So we'll see, man. We'll see if T.O. Lopez is actually going to fight Shakur Stevenson. Because that's a good style matchup as well. To me, it's going to be like a chess match, I think. But if T.O.'s smart and fights the type of fight he fought against Lomachenko, it'll make that fight that much more better. Cam J, shout out to Cam J again. You said Tank ain't scared of Shakur. Shakur ain't got no fire behind them punches to be scared of. Well, I feel the same way, bro. And you bring up a good point. It's like you have to have a respectable amount of power with Tank Davis. I think Tank Davis respected the power of Frank Martin. I think Tank Davis respected the power of Rolly Romero. I think Tank Davis respected the power of Pitbull Cruz. I think Tank Davis respected the power of Lamont Roach Jr. So that's like four different guys. But when it comes to Shakur, he does not crack like Lamont Roach Jr. Shakur doesn't crack like Pitbull Cruz. He doesn't crack like Frank Martin. So I feel like Tank is not going to really be too troubled by his punch power. And if he does not assert himself enough to make Tank respect his punching power, Tank is just going to walk him down. So he has to have enough power to hit Tank with a 2 or 3 punch combo to where Tank is like, oh, I'm going to be a little bit cautious. But if Tank eats those punches like it's nothing, it's going to be a long, long night for Shakur Stevenson. Based on the premise that these two guys actually get in the ring and they actually fight. Brandon Martindale, you said I got Thurman losing. I'll explain when I get on camera. Okay. That's cool, bro. Oh, for sure. We lit, man. So hey, we just getting started, y'all. So I don't want to waste a whole lot more time. I want to get y'all on here so we can drop a link for those. I know Brandon wants to get on here. Hopefully Mike Ware pops up. Cam J. Let's get it in. Let's get it on, man. And to everybody on Facebook that has something to say about Tank Davis, hey, this your opportunity. We going live. Jump on. I like for you to weigh in. Okay. Now, once you do come in, just be patient, please. Once you get the link or whatever, just wait for a second, and we will get you on. Hello? Give me 1 second, Brandon. And yeah, and like I said, I'll just go back to what I said at the beginning of the show. In Your Face magazine is available. Shout outs to Ozzy's Catering in Cincinnati, Ohio. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can see you.
Can you hear me, Bane?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Cam J.
Oh, all right, bet. We good. We good. I can hear all of y'all. We good.
Okay, cool, cool.
We
Make sure
good.
your
We
mic is
good.
on, uh, Brandon. I see on your screen it looks like it's I don't know if it's your volume or your thing. You got a line through it. So make sure you're not on mute. What's going on, Cam J?
What's popping? What's popping, man? Man,
Man,
crazy, man, crazy. A little bit on the boxing side. Ain't been no too much crazy news, but of course, Tank Davis is viral right now throughout this whole entire week with him and Tank. I mean, him and Jake Paul coming up November 14th.
yeah, man, for sure. So it seems like because it is Tank Davis that everything is being amplified, like on a whole nother level. If it wasn't Tank, I feel like people wouldn't necessarily like it, but now it's like they're really frowning upon it on a whole different level. Are you still there? All right, you there, Brandon? Cam J? Can't hear anybody. All right. Um, but anyways, what I was trying to say was that Tank Davis versus Jake Paul, yes, indeed, it's definitely an entertainment fight. It's not, you know, your typical, you know, guys going for it undisputed or going for unified or a title defense. It's an entertainment fight for a lot
Hey,
of money.
Eugene.
Hey, what's up? I
Hey,
can hear you.
go ahead. Good. Sorry, guys. I had to fix that mic. Go ahead. Keep your thing up. I'm sorry. I had to fix.
You're good.
Hey,
You're
Eugene.
good. I can hear you
Can you
now.
hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Eugene, can you hear? Can you hear me, Eugene?
Yep. I can hear you.
Thumbs up.
Yep.
Hey, Eugene. How about them Reds, baby? Wild card spot. Let's go.
That's what's up.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I
No,
support.
you guys. Hey,
I
go
support
ahead.
my local
Sorry to
team, but
interrupt. Go
I'm
ahead.
not. I don't follow baseball like I used to, personally.
Hey, I'm just happy the Reds are decent for once.
Right, right. But it's a good thing.
Okay.
It's a good thing
Go
for
ahead.
the city.
Go ahead. Your conversation. Sorry to interrupt. I had to fix my mic. Go ahead.
No, you're
Sorry.
good. So let's just let me bring up the topics I have.
Oh, if anyone,
And it's
by the
fine.
way, I just want to say, Eugene, anyone can just call me
Mhm.
B. Instead of Brandon, you can just call me B if we're talking or debating. Just call me B for the other
How
guys.
you be?
Yeah, the other
Okay,
guys
I'll
can
try
just
to
call me.
remember that.
I'm
All
Brandon.
right,
Nice to
B.
meet you guys.
Yep. All right, B. So we're gonna start from the top.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna bring up a couple different topics. If it's
Okay.
something you're not privy to or you don't know,
Yes, sir.
that's fine. We'll move on.
Yes,
But
sir.
if it's something you know about, I'd like to get your opinion.
Okay. Do you want to do it? How
Okay.
many people do we have? And do you just want to do it in a
So,
circle, like each person goes, and then?
well, right now I'm gonna just be me and you until
Okay.
my cousin Cam J come back.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead, brother.
let's start off
Hey,
with
Eugene, me and you're gonna get into the tank. Hey, we're gonna get into the
yes, for sure.
Shakur soon. We're gonna get to
Yeah,
the
we're gonna hold
Shakur.
that for a little bit. We're gonna put that on ice real quick.
Okay. Well, but someday we're gonna get to that.
No, we're gonna get to it today.
Okay,
But I'm
I
gonna
feel
talk
you, brother.
about. I'm gonna break the ice first.
Yes, sir. Break your eyes. I love it.
All right. So
I can hear you,
Parker
brother.
versus Wardley. What is your take
Parker.
on that?
Do you want me? Talk about me.
Yep. Joseph Parker versus
Parker. Okay, so
Fabio Wardley.
I obviously everybody wants to say Parker. Worley's tricky in a certain way. I'm not saying he's gonna win, but I don't think it'll be like just like a dominant. I mean, I think Parker win, but Worley's kind of tricky a little bit. Like I don't think it's. What do you think? I don't think it. I haven't seen a lot of them, so I'm not gonna lie and pretend like a lot of people. But the little bit that I have seen of him, because I watched a couple of YouTube videos just to see, he's a little tricky. Not saying he's great, right? But he's a little tricky. So I think this would be good for Parker to get, used to. What do you think? To get used to a little bit of a trickiness. Not saying he's super tricky, but it'll be a decent little test for him. I think
it will. I think
that's what I think. But not saying I got Parker winning. I'm saying Worley's not going to be like he's going to show up to get. You're going to have to pack your lunch. Like Worley's not just going to roll over. I don't think he'll roll over. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, he's not. You're right.
Yeah, so that's
he's not
what
gonna
I'm
roll
saying.
over.
People are thinking it's going to be a rollover. I don't think that's watch. Now I haven't watched as much Worley as you have probably. I looked a little bit, but I think he's not going to roll over. I don't think he's just going to say, "Oh well, it's Parker, so I'm just here to get a check." I think he's going to try. Not saying he'll win, but
well, you make some good point. Now I feel like
yeah, I can hear you, sir.
I feel like he's not gonna roll over.
That's what I'm thinking. A lot of people think he will too. Read a lot of the comments.
No, he's not.
Think he will.
He's not. I've seen his interviews. He's locked in.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. A couple of things I saw, and in the fights, he looks like he's not like he don't fight to just like quit. Is what I'm saying. Like he's
exactly.
Not. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna show up to try to win. Not saying he will, but he's gonna in his heart he's gonna try. Is what I'm saying. He's not just gonna be like, oh, I'm here for a paycheck. It's Parker. Not saying I'm not gonna try, but some guys get in there and they're, well, I'm gonna try. And then, oh well, yeah, I think he's really gonna try. I'm not saying I win, but I think Worley's not. He's not gonna just roll over like you said and just, oh, it's Parker. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. And he's kind of tricky. Not saying he's real tricky, but he's got a little. Just from what I saw, I have to see more Eugene. Obviously, I haven't seen as much. I'm not gonna lie. I hate people that lie.
I'll send
I haven't seen a lot.
I'll send a couple links later on.
But Eugene, how you get these boxing people and podcasts lie and say all. I never saw. So I ain't gonna lie. I seen maybe 2 or 3 of his fights on YouTube highlights. But I'm not gonna sit there. But from what I saw, he don't look like he's gonna quit and just roll over, like make it an easy night.
He's not.
That's what I'm saying. People are thinking it's just gonna be an easy night. I don't think he'll quit and just be an easy night. That's what I'm saying. Parker should win, I believe, but I'm not picking Worley or anything. I'm not saying he ain't gonna roll over like I see Max Kellerman and some others saying he's gonna roll over. I just don't see that.
Right now,
you hear me now, Ben?
I can hear you, brother.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay,
I can hear you too, brother.
Yep. So Cam J,
you were talking about Parker and Wardley.
Yeah. So I want to know your opinion on Parker versus Wardley.
I got Parker in this one, man. I just think he's the more skillful boxer in this fight. And, Wardley, yes, he has some power, but he don't have the skill. And you just look at that last fight with Wardley, he was getting dominated in that fight by Justice Huey if you go back and watch it until he knocked him out. I mean, which is, Some people you can be like, oh, was it a lucky shot from Worley? Or no, maybe. But he made it do what it do. So you got to give our credit for Worley for that. But
That's so
majority of that fight, he was losing
okay.
that fight in particular. And just going into him with Parker, I feel like Parker, Parker knows that it's a lot on the line. He know that he has to win this fight to where he can possibly finally get the Usyk fight, possibly because Usyk is in position right now where he has to fight the winner between these two guys. So, which is a situation where even though no, we know that's in play, Usyk may not fight either one of these guys. But that's a whole nother story. I'm just saying in general, it's a lot on the line for Parker, and I think Parker understands the situation, and he's a more skillful boxer than Worley. And I think he'll at least win this fight by decision unanimously.
Yes, yes, sir. I
At
agree with that.
best, I don't see him stopping him. I
Yes, sir.
mean, Worley's going to like really need a big stoppage because both of these guys are Queensberry guys, and Frank Warren values Joseph Parker more than Worley. That's just the truth to be told, and we know how this shit play in politics. If they value another guy, more so, they're gonna go with that guy if it goes to the course and if it's a close fight. So if it's a close fight, definitely I'm going Parker, and I feel like Worley's gonna need the stoppage to win this fight.
Right. For
I
sure,
agree.
man.
By the way,
Great point.
but I agree. By
You
the
want to
way,
add to
I was
that,
just wanted to
Brandon?
ask.
B.
What was his name again?
Cam J.
Cam. Can I call you? Can I just call you Cam? Is that okay? Or Jay?
Oh, that's
Can I just call
cool.
you
Yeah,
Jay?
yeah, for sure.
Jay, I agree with you. I think it's and me and him was just saying before you go. All I said was Jay is I don't think it's just gonna. I don't think Worley's just gonna roll over and it's gonna be an easy fight like
Oh
Parker.
yeah, for
People are
sure.
thinking Park. Well, you listen to Max Kellerman and the other tards. Oh, it's gonna be an easy fight. I don't think it's gonna be a Worley isn't gonna roll over and just he like you said he's not skilled but he's tough and he's not just gonna go in there to quit. He's gonna go in there and try to win. Like he's not gonna. He don't think he can win, but he's gonna try. Like I'm not saying he can't win. What I'm saying is like he's not going to go in there thinking, oh, I can't win. He's going to try hard. Is what I'm saying. It's not going to be just a walk in the park like people are saying. Jay is what I was. I agree. Is what I was. Like,
Are you good?
yeah, you see what I'm saying? People are saying it's going to be a walk in the park. I just don't see that. Like it's going. Like, he'll win by unanimous decision, but it won't be just all be easy. I think Worley will give him some tough rounds. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, man. I mean, I mean, it poses for a good fight. I mean, this only thing about Joseph, you can think on the other side for as Joseph, you can think, okay, his last fight was with Coley, and that was last year.
Yeah,
Hasn't fought in a while.
but Corey
You know what
rolled
I'm
that
saying?
down,
Though
man.
Worley just fought recently earlier this year. So you think of, the time span for as these guys, for as, when they last fought, which is, that plays in a factor in these type of
It
fights.
does. It does. You're
But,
exactly.
Parker, he's a guy that's, he
Parker.
knows there's so much on the line for him.
Yes,
There's so
sir.
much
Yes,
on the
sir.
line for him, and he loses this fight, he goes back down in the rankings, and
Also, can I ask you something, Jay? What if he wins, but it's boring? Does that get him out of the Usyk fight? If he barely, say it's just a. Do you think he has to look good, even if he wins by decision? Do you think he has to look good or just win?
I mean, I feel like all fighters have to look good in any performance that they have, win, lose, or draw. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Whether you lose, even if you lose, you want to look good
well, here's the
losing.
thing. Yeah,
You know
and
what I'm
Jay,
saying?
here's
Because it
something else I want
poses
to
better
say.
for fights, you know what I'm saying, for your future fights, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, Jay, I don't. If I'm Parker, why do as long as I win, I don't care. Like Floyd, people say the thing about Floyd. Because I'm 36, so I watched when I started watching when I was 5 because my grandpa used to write for a boxing paper. But Floyd always, even though he won a decision, his fights were fun because he used his skill. But my thing about AJ is, only thing I said earlier is people are thinking it's just going to be a walk in the park and he's just going to he'll win by decision. But like what I'm saying is, I think Eugene agree, it's not just going to be all easy. I think Worley's going to try to win. Is what I'm saying. He's not just going to show up and not try. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Right.
yeah.
He
I
ain't
think
there
Ward is
just to
going
get
to
a
be up
check.
That's
for
what
the
I was.
fight.
That's all I'm saying. People think it's.
Bean, what you
Here's my
think?
thing.
Like, you think Worley got the skills to beat Mark
No,
Parker?
sir. No, sir. I pick
No,
the right
I'm
thing. I
asking
just don't
Bean.
think
I'm asking you,
Worley's
James.
tough. Worley's tough is all I'm saying. He's not gonna just show up to get a paycheck. Is what I'm saying. He's
Right.
not.
No, no, yeah, yeah, I get
Yeah,
what you're
that's
saying.
all I'm
I'm
saying,
asking,
Jay.
Eugene, like, who you think, Ben?
Oh.
You think Worley got
Okay.
the skills to possibly beat him?
If
I
he can
think
lay weight,
this
anybody
is what
can
I
knock him.
think. I feel like I'm going with Parker all day on this one.
Yes, sir. It's me
But
too.
but there is that. But I'm always logic. The links in the chat, Mike Ware. I know you and Cam J got some stuff to settle up. We're gonna get into that
You
It
in
ain't
a little
really
bit,
nothing
y'all.
to
always
settle
stirring
up
that
at
pot,
all.
Eugene.
Honestly, it's nothing to settle
Eugene's always stirring
because
that pot,
when I
Jay.
ask
Always stirring that
questions,
pot.
when I
Jay,
ask
Eugene's
these
always
guys
stirring that pot,
questions
ain't he?
about stuff, look,
Jay,
hold
he's
on,
always stirring that pot, huh?
let me enlighten y'all a little bit right here. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to settle with Mike because it's been settled. Because when I ask questions, it don't get answered. But then when they want to ask me questions, I answer the questions, and then they deflect off of when I answer the questions. But even when I ask them the questions, they deflect even more. That's why I call them the deflect boys. All they do is deflect. They never answer questions at all, and they literally piggyback and want to pick and choose who they want to go at. Like you want to go at Tank, okay? I could easily pick and choose and go at any fighter if I really want to, and be critique of a lot of fighters, in the game. But at the same time, I don't have to do that because when you're trying to uplift the game in a
Mm-hmm.
sense, when you're covering the whole
Right.
entire landscape, it don't matter. It don't matter to critique a fighter after a while
Hey,
because you're covering so many different fighters to where it don't even fucking matter if you're covering 5 to 10 guys, which is everybody that's fan wise. That's because I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Let
yes,
me
sir, Jay.
enlighten y'all. I analyze the game. I break, I break fights as far as
Um,
like, fight new wise. You know what I'm
Eugene,
saying?
yeah.
I know about fights that some of the world don't even know about
Hey,
coming up. You know
Jay,
what I
I was
mean?
gonna
So
say
I'm
about
just saying,
Tank.
like, a lot of this shit be different on the boxing shit when it comes up to me because, like, you just can't sit there and come and talk simple boxing with me. The conversations be different. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? And it's not even being on no cocky stuff or anything. I'm
Well,
just saying,
one
like, the
second, D.
level of boxing talk to where I'm at now, like, you just
Mm,
can't come up there and throw ish on the wall and expect it to stick talking with me. It don't work like that.
Jay,
right.
can I say one thing? As far as Tank Eugene, I was supposed to say, I've heard a lot about people saying exhibitions, whatever. The only thing I'll say
Mm,
is this: the exhibitions go back to my favorite, Jack Dempsey, obviously when he fought that wrestler and
Absolutely.
knocked him out of the ring. Okay, but exhibitions, I don't mind exhibitions, but I don't like exhibitions where I want the where like I don't like the fact that these guys let guys like Jake Paul and them walk out of the ring. When Dempsey did exhibition, he knocked a guy out. When Joe Louis did an exhibition, he knocked. If you let someone as an exhibition, you like Jack Dempsey once said, I don't care who it is, a professional fighter or exhibition fighter. You get in the ring with me, I'm punishing you. So I just say Tank. I have no problem with Tank doing that, and also like the beating women or whatever. I don't judge until the jury convicts or whatever. That's not. I don't judge
Absolutely.
because I don't know what the story. So I'm not. I don't care about that. I just think Tank in the ring. I think if Tank does what the exhibition, cool, he's gonna make money. Uh, do I think he could beat Lamont Roach again? I think Tank wasn't focused, but Lamont Roach is an excellent fighter. I just want to say with Jay, I'm with Jay on Tank. A lot of you know what I mean. That's all I want to say. Sorry, I just wanted to say I'm with Jay.
Are you all good?
well,
You all good.
let me ask both of y'all this
Go ahead.
then. All right, let me ask Cam J first.
Yes, sir.
So we just talked about Lamont Roach, right? In the tank.
Absolutely.
So what about Lamont Roach Jr. upcoming fight with Pitbull Cruz? Let me know what you think,
Um, I,
Cuzzo.
I mean, I love the fight. The crazy part, I broke this news well, like literally about 3 weeks ago, and now everybody's just talking about it. But that's a whole other story. But like Lamont and Pitbull, I think it's a great fight style wise. You got
Mm,
Pitbull, he's a pressure fighter. You got Lamont, he's a counter puncher, which is in certain styles of fights, with certain temperaments with certain fighters. It poses for a great fight, which is I think it absolutely does in this fight. And just a reminder, these are two of Tank Crawford Tank I say Tank Crawford, Tank Davis former foes right here in this fight right here. So and this fight is at
great point.
140 pounds. And Lamont Roach is a champion at 130 for the WBA, just to add context to the situation.
Can
So
y'all hear me
I mean, I'm
now?
not. A
Yes,
lot of
sir. Yes,
people,
sir.
a lot of people
Okay,
will say,
y'all hear me now?
hold on, a lot of people will say Tank.
Yeah, I hear you,
They
Mike.
give
Hold
him a
on one
lot of
second.
gripe. They give Tank a lot of gripe for. Oh, he pulled up Lamont Rose from 130, but he's about to fight Pitbull Cruz at 140. And and he's the champion at 130. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying in general, yeah, y'all gotta sit here and just read the room, and y'all can't sit here and throw stones and throw ish on the wall and expect it to stick with your talking points.
I agree with you, Jay. I'm with you
Hey,
on.
let me talk for a second because I can't talk long. Let me
All
talk.
right, go ahead.
Are you gonna let me?
Let Mike go real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Here it is. I picked get on to Joseph Parker. I picked Parker to win that fight because the only way you could knock out Joseph Parker is you have to throw punches, 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 hard punches, and punches. And
I agree.
who beat him? Who beat him?
Joe
That was
Joyce.
Joe Joyce, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Joyce knocked him out.
Wait, are we allowed to respond or? I didn't know.
Yeah, wait, yeah. To respond.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking, sir. I didn't want to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying that. I'll talk about that. And here's the Tank thing. I was a Tank fan, but I had to come to realization with myself. He's not
One
fighting
thing, real quick. Are we
anybody.
doing the Pitbull Cruise thing next after this, Eugene? Are you coming to me with the Pitbull
Yeah,
thing after
hold
this?
on. Hold on one second, B.
Yes, sir. I was.
No, I'm responding to him because we in the chat and we go through this every day. I wish AJ was on here. Tank won't fight
Oh, you need to
anybody,
gang up,
bro.
huh? You try to
You
gang up. I cook both of y'all
don't need to
daily, so
gang
it's
up.
really
You don't need to
nothing.
gang up, bro. I sat down and told you the
You need
true
backup.
facts about Tank. I don't need backup.
You need
Tank
backup.
hasn't fought
I wish
anybody.
AJ was here. You need backup.
Eugene,
I don't
stir
need
the pot,
backup. I'm just
Eugene.
saying so he can
And he
hear
ain't
it.
gonna save you either.
Stir
He
the
ain't gonna
pot,
You
save you
can't
from
Eugene.
getting
save
cooked.
nobody.
I cook both of y'all on a daily basis, and y'all barely don't want to
You
respond to
can't
anything I
Hey,
gotta
I'm
say
not
half
in
the
this.
time. So it's really nothing.
I'm
brother,
just here
This
so I
is
man.
don't get
effortless
quiet.
for me.
You haven't cooked anybody. Tank won't fight anyone.
It's
Hey, can we
okay
break
for you
down
Tank
to
the
be
Pitbull
fan.
fight?
delusional, man.
I was a Tank fan. Who is he for?
You was
Tell me.
never a fan. You a hater.
I
Hey,
was a
Eugene, can
Tank
you?
fan up until Frank
Okay.
Martin, and
Let
Frank
Let me
Martin
ask
ain't
it
done
this
it.
way then. Hold on. So Mike, I'm
Was
gonna come at you
Was
first.
Frank Martin a
We
top
gonna
contender?
No,
Fight.
He wasn't. Oh, so he wasn't top
no.
three in the 130. He wasn't top three in
You you you
135.
could you could have him ranked there, but no. Tank
Oh,
Martin
but
was
you
hyped.
said,
Oh,
hey,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
watch
I'm
this,
sorry.
Bing.
Tank Martin.
Hey,
Martin
Bing,
was
watch
hyped
this.
up because he was Spencer
Watch this, Bing.
protege.
I got you right here.
Get me.
Hey, did you say William Zepeda was a top contender earlier?
Yeah, there was Zapata was a top
So
contender.
Zepeda's a top contender,
Zapata
and Frank
actually
Martin
did
wasn't a
fight.
top contender. You
Nope.
see how biased and
Frank
dumb you sound? Like
how
you
biased am
contradict
I?
yourself every
Hey,
time.
when
That's
they're
why I
done, I'll
said
get
you a
to
Tell me,
it.
how am I
barbecue
being
chicken.
biased?
You barbecue chicken. How you
Tell me
gonna
how am
say
I
Zepeda's a
biased?
top contender, but Frank Martin's not a top contender? Make it make sense.
Frank
This
Martin
man
won a couple
Shakur
of
was crying
fights.
about not getting to fight with Frank Martin. Like, come
Tell me
on,
how
miss
many.
me with the BS.
I'm
Like you're
not going
trash in
around the
this. You're
BS.
super trash
Frank
in talking
Martin had
boxing. You're
Frank
super trash
Martin
in
only
talking
had a
boxing.
couple of.
You're a fraud in this.
Frank
Hey,
Martin should have
Eugene,
lost
You're
the
a
fight
can
fraud
we
in
do
before he
the
this.
fought
Pitbull
Tank.
thing?
And you literally just said in our chat, said that you was most unbiased, and you just
Oh,
showed your biasness
I
just
didn't
now.
show bias.
You just showed it.
I wanted to
How?
You
Pitbull
just said
guy.
Zapata was. You said Zapata was a top contender, and
Zapata
Frank
has
Martin
done
wasn't.
more.
And Frank Martin was clearly a
Zapata
top
has done
contender in the
more
WBA.
at
He was number
135.
three in the WBA when Tank fought him.
Tell me who. Tell me who did.
You don't know
None of
these
them really
things.
beat anybody. But tell me who. Tell me an
You don't
impressive
even know
Tank
that
Frank
the
Martin.
WBO rankings just dropped this week. You don't even know shit like this. Yeah, I mean, you don't
Look
know
at you. You're
boxing.
getting
You're not
mad because
tapped
it's
into
about
the
Tank.
sport as much as you portray. And I
I'm tapped
expose it
into the
every
sport.
time. You look so
You don't
fraudulent every
expose
time you come
anything.
on
What did
here
Frank
and you
Martin
come in the
do?
chat. You be talking all this crazy Rick Glazer talking
So
points. All your
I'm done
talking
talking.
points come from Rick Glazer, and you get cooked every time. You
Can we
just
get to
showed your
the
Tell
biasness,
me
and you
one time I
literally just
got
Pitbull
said on
fight?
that
cooked,
chat that you
or
was unbiased. You're
I am.
cooked.
But
You're
Frank
barbecue
Martin.
chicken.
Tell me what has Frank Martin done, or what did he do?
What has Williams and Pater done?
He turned on the fight. He turned on the fight with
What
the
has Williams and
corkscrew.
Pater done?
Zepeda's
He's done
fought
more than
the.
Frank Martin. He's had bigger fights than Frank Martin.
He has
He did.
bigger fights than Frank Martin.
I
Yeah,
don't even like
bro,
Tevin Farmer.
they don't have the same level of fights.
I
They
don't even
both
like
got
Tevin
one title
Farmer,
shot,
but
and they both lost
Tevin Farmer's a
both of
bigger
their
name than
fights.
anybody Tank Martin's fought.
What are you
You talking
talking
about
about?
Michelle Rivera? Michelle
he
Garland Muscat,
didn't fought
if you had
and he
lost the
fought
fight,
tougher competition. Literally, then
bro,
Williams the
I'm
Pater.
telling you what you do.
Williams the Pater, he been
Anybody,
getting layups over there.
anybody,
Golden Boy,
listen,
Golden Boy is
Cam,
known for giving their guys layups. Look at
Cam, I'm
Virgil
just telling you
Ortiz's
this.
resume. Virgil Ortiz's resume is full of layups over there. That man, Williams the
What
Pater
about
was up
Virgil
to
Ortiz?
35-0 until he what? How many fights did Williams the Pater had up until Shakur? And I'll look it up right now.
Where
I'll
Virgil
show you how
Ortiz come
far
from?
this is. I'll show you how far than you are because you don't
Bro,
know
where did
boxing like
Virgil
this, bro.
Ortiz
You
Okay.
come
don't.
from?
Hey, you're a
Hey,
fraud in
Cam,
this.
Cam
You're a
and
super
Mike.
fraud.
Let's do like this. Hey, Cam and Mike. Let's do like this. Who wants to present first? So we can just get one
30.
person
This
talking.
man.
I'm not
And then-
I'm gonna
arguing,
say this
Cam.
right here. I'm gonna say this right here.
What are we?
The man,
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
the man Williams the Pater was 33-0 up until he fought Shakur Stevenson.
Hey, Eugene.
Think of the
Hey,
last
hold up,
two
stop
fights
talking.
Williams the
Hold on one
Pater
second.
just had. Hold on. Let's hold on. We
Hold on, Mike.
about to
Hold on.
really clear it out.
We ain't
Hold on,
Let Cam.
Bing.
Breakdown. I'm sorry.
Hey, Mike.
That
Mike.
he
Let
Mike want to cut me out because he know I'm about to cook him.
let
You
Cam J
haven't
go.
cooked anybody.
Let Cam J go for a minute, and then I'm gonna let you go. For
Can we do
sure.
the Pitbull breakdown
let him
after?
go.
Or...
All
Let's
right.
make some little structure
So
here.
Hey, you should
let,
do
let,
the Pitbull
yeah.
after? Or
Let's
not?
go to the
Hold on one
box
second,
rec
bro.
with Williams the Pater.
Let Cam J go.
Because this is one thing I like to make known for some of these guys out here. Y'all talk about guys' resume, but like I said earlier in our group chat, I said it comes down to when you beat that guy, what has that guy done after you fought him? Let's look at Williams and Pater, and we're gonna talk about Williams and Pater just beforehand. And then we can go down Shakur resume and look what the guys that he fought, what have they done after they fought Shakur Stevenson. But just starting off on Williams and Pater, just going on the context while Mike is saying that he's a top contender, the man literally
Boxing breakdown.
fought Maxie Hughes after Maxie Hughes lost to Cambosis. He fought a JoJo Diaz and went 12 rounds with JoJo Diaz, which we know he's trash. He done fought Giovanni Cabrera after Giovanni Cabrera went 12 rounds with Pitbull Cruz. Yeah, he stopped in the 3 rounds. But then we go back with the two fights that he had with Tevin Farmer, where he went 10 rounds in the first fight, but a lot of people felt like Tevin Farmer won that first fight. Then he went 12 rounds with Tevin Farmer in the second fight, which a lot of people, some people feel skeptical about that fight. So he went to 2 wars with Tevin Farmer going into the fight with Shakur Stevenson. Let's go ahead and run down Shakur Stevenson resume and that right here. When you want to go down
Hold
to
on.
it.
Hold on.
Let's go. Hold on. Don't cut me
No,
off.
no,
No,
no, no. Hold on.
Hold
no,
on.
Cam.
Mike, hold on.
Hey,
no.
Eugene, can we get to the
Don't
Pitbull
cut me
breakdown,
off.
please?
I'm getting
Hold
there.
on.
Let
I
me
say one thing that's
let me
gonna
get
cut you
there.
off.
Let me
I'm gonna
get
say
there.
one thing that's gonna cut you off, okay?
I thought we were just breaking down fights.
Can I say one thing? That's all I'm asking.
No, I don't want you to say one thing because you're gonna say
Because when I
something
say
else. So
it, you're gonna
no,
feel
let me
Eugene, can we do the
continue.
breakdown?
Let me
I thought it was
continue.
next.
I don't want
Hold
to
on,
hear what
Mike.
you got to say, Mike. Let me continue.
Let Cam J get his out, and then I'm coming to you.
Let me
You can
continue.
respond.
Fight.
So, all right, let's go to Oscar Valdez, starting off in his
okay, go to
resume.
it. Go to it.
Let's
Why don't we
go.
break down the
What
Pitbull
weight
fight?
What has
class was he at?
Oscar Valdez?
130?
Let's go
130.
with let's look at what Oscar
130.
Valdez has done.
We're
You
doing
trying
it.
to talk over?
130.
Let me talk, Mike. You trying to talk over me because you know I'm in the process of
Eugene,
cooking.
let's
You
just do
already
break down the
you're in the
boxing fight.
fryer already, and you're about to be done. Don't worry,
I'm
I'm gonna
not
get
about to
finished
be
with you.
done. I
Let me
already know
talk.
my response.
You
It's
don't
gonna be
got a
2
response.
seconds.
It's gonna be
It's gonna
bogus
be
if you
my
ain't gonna be
response
able
is
to
gonna be 2
respond to this.
seconds. My response
So,
is gonna be
all
2
right.
seconds.
Let's look at it. Shakur after Oscar Valdez fought Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur,
He lost the unanimous decision to Emmanuel Navarrete in 12 rounds. Then he went ahead and knocked out Leon Wilson in 7 rounds. Then he went back and got stopped by Emmanuel Navarrete in 6 rounds, and that was last year. And then he just fought, literally, which you probably didn't know of. He just fought a couple weeks ago, and
I
he
know he
just
fought
literally
on the
had a whole
ESPN channel.
decision. He just
He
had a
fought on the
whole
ESPN
decision
channel.
with this dude Richard Medina that was 16-3 just now. Let's go to the next guy. Is just you want to go there? That's why I said
Mhm.
you can never mess with me
I'm
on your
about to
worst
cook you
day.
hey, can
in.
we
I'm
break
about to
down the
cook you
You
in.
fights
can
or
never mess
no?
with me on your worst day.
You
Let's
I'm
want
not
to
gonna
go
break
break
ahead
down
down
to
the
fight.
Rob.
fights?
Let's go to Robson Casaccio.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to him, which is actually one of his best ops, you can say. All right, since Shakur fought him, he had a no contest with Nicholas Polanco, and pretty much. Then he
Only for
fought
Pitbull
Emmanuel Navarrete,
and Shakur
where
Steelhouse.
he lost the fight by majority decision to Emmanuel Navarrete. Then he fought Jose Ortiz, stomped him in 8 rounds in the
Uh,
seventh round.
and then
Then
Shakur fought
he
some
beat
plumber from Ireland.
Ashaki Foster. He beat Ashaki Foster, which a lot of people thought he lost that fight.
Shakur
And
lost to him. He fought
then
a
he
plumber
came
from
back and
Ireland.
rematched Oshaki Foster, and he lost by split decision to Oshaki Foster. Then he just fought just recently, this past month,
A
fighting this
plumber
guy,
from Ireland or something.
and he won by knockout. He fought a guy that was 23 and 4-1. Let's
Didn't
go ahead
Shakur
and
fight a plumber though?
continue.
Didn't Shakur fight a plumber from Ireland?
Oh,
Yes,
bro,
he
he's
did.
hey, we gotta sit down and think he's talking to me, so
Yes,
you
he
have to give me
did.
my chance.
Okay, I was just making sure. I
Yes,
remember
he
that.
did.
Eugene, I
Yes,
And
heard
he
you
Finley,
did.
he
say
He
couldn't
did
knock him
fight.
out
He
Shaquille.
fought
either.
an electrician.
Yeah,
Let's go
electrician.
ahead.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Let's
And he
go to
couldn't knock him out either.
Yoshino.
And he couldn't
Let's go
knock
to
him out.
Yoshino
Go.
when Shakur started at 135. Yoshino, he won by knockout in 2024 to this guy that was 13 and 7. And
Yes,
then
sir.
he just got stopped early this year in April by a guy that was 9 and 0 in the 11th round. That's Yoshino right there. That was his first fight at 135 right there. We could say Edwin De Los Santos, he ain't fought since he fought Shakur. So
Mhm.
you can score. And well, he was supposed to fight, but Keyshawn ended up not making weight, and he wasn't able to fight Edwin De Los Santos for his first title defense, which is kind of ironic. And y'all sit here and talk about people like, oh, these people's hurt in the sport of boxing and stuff. Well, Keyshawn heard it that night. Let's speak about it, but y'all want to talk about it.
I
Autumn.
agree with you. Hey, I agree with you. I agree with
Autumn
you,
ain't
brother.
fought since Shakur. Since he lost to Shakur. He ain't did nothing since he fought Shakur.
I agree.
There's
Are
Josh
you gonna let me? Are you
Padley.
gonna let me talk?
Josh Padley, he over there fighting on Matchroom, fighting Poo Putz over there now. Because he got signed after he lost to Shakur Stevenson in that fight right there.
Yes, sir.
So
Okay.
I'm just saying in general, you look at Shakur resume, the guys that he fought, they ain't did nothing.
And Tia
And
Lopez
you
is gonna
want to
whoop his
talk
ass
about
too.
somebody having Shakur ain't fought nobody elite. He ain't fought nobody that put no pressure on him at all. And this man sit here and want to talk about this guy ain't fought that guy. This guy ain't fought that guy. That's why I said you can't put the harness all on one person. And when it comes to
Exactly.
these resumes, it don't just about who you fought. It's about when you beat those guys and what have the guys fought and what the guys that he fought. It depends on who they fought and how those guys have done after their
They
career after
Zepeda
they
had
fought
him
them.
hurt on the ropes too. Remember
That
that?
be the problem with y'all. Y'all sit
Zepeda
there and
had him
just be
hurt
looking
on the
at who
ropes
they
too.
fought, but y'all ain't looking at what Tank got two guys that's at 147 right now that's champions right now that he fought, and you say his resume trash. Some of you
Yeah, I
guys say
do.
Tank ain't fought
Shakur's
You don't
nobody,
let
but
me
then
Shakur's
talk.
fought
all of his
nobody. If you're gonna call
contemporaries,
Tank
all
out,
the Tank Davis contemporaries
I'm
is
about to get
begging to
off.
fight the guys that
It's
Tank
over
did
there.
fought before.
if you're gonna call Tank out, you got to
Okay.
call
Hey
Shakur's
Cam,
record
hold
out.
on. Right. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna do it. It's going good so far. So Cam said his piece. Let's let Mike go and
Yeah, go
rebuttal.
ahead, Mike. Sorry, Mike.
Oh,
Sorry.
After
you want me?
Mike
Oh, you want me to
rebuttals,
rebut?
after Mike
I'm gonna say
rebuttals,
this.
I'm gonna come to you. Come to you, B.
Sorry
Go
for
Hey,
ahead, Mike.
interrupting, sir. Hey, you guys, I'm sorry for
I'm
interrupting,
not.
sir.
I'm not. I'm not going through both of their resumes because I don't have to do that. I'm gonna just throw this out there.
Because you
Tank,
can't do it, because you suck.
you don't have anything. You
Because you
know,
suck.
I'm stuck.
You suck. You don't have
I
no
do.
talking point. You don't have nothing to
Eugene,
rebuttal at all.
I
You
already do.
suck.
I already have
All right.
rebuttals.
Okay. Hold on one
I'm
second,
gonna just
Cam. We
throw
want
Go
to
this
let him
out
ahead
say
and
there.
something.
tell your
Go
Rick
ahead, Mike.
Blazer lie and talking point right there.
I'm not telling a lie. Did Gervonta Davis should have lost that fight, but it was a PBC show, right? Roach beat him. Yeah, he did. We all know that. Tank went out there and was over there, took the knee,
It's about
looked like a
Tank
little
Davis, man.
coward.
Hey, if you
I'm
want to
talking about
hold
I'm about to
Tank
flip
Davis
it.
jock strap, call him.
I'm
That's
about
all I
no, I'm
gotta
about
say.
to
Call him if you want to hold his jock strap, because you talk about Tank Davis more than any of his fans do.
no, I don't. I'm just calling it out. I just call it how it is. Now, like I said, he had a draw with Lamont Rose that he should have beat. That he should have knocked out, but he couldn't. He got frustrated. tried to bite homeboy. Wick took a knee. Oh, I have my grease in my eye. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, he had a draw with him. Now, I'm not even a Shakur Stevenson fan. Roach got his ass whooped by Jamel Herring. Yep. You want to talk all of that? He got his ass whooped by Jamel Herring. Shakur knocked him the fuck out. So,
A triangle theory?
no, I don't believe in triangle
You
theories,
suck
but I'm
at
throwing it
this.
there. No, because you don't have an answer. He knocked him out.
You have
Now,
no
you
talking
talk
point.
about
I
his
knew you was
130
gonna do all of
fights.
this. I knew you was gonna say
No,
all of
here
this
it
before
goes.
you even did it.
Look at him. Because he doesn't have an answer. Now, Shakur went to 135. He's been on social media. He's been everywhere calling out Tank. What has Tank done? He's refused. And I could go further and deeper in the Tank. Tank won the WBA. He won a WBA regular belt. Loma was champ. He didn't call out Loma. Then Teofimo was champ. He refused to fight with Teofimo.
Timo will beat his ass.
Kambosos
He
was
don't want
champ.
that part. He don't want Tio.
Yeah, Kambosos was champ. And that was a fight that he could have won. He wouldn't even take that fight. Devin Haney was
Cambosis?
champ. Devin Haney was champ. He
You
didn't take that
said
fight.
Cambosis.
He did. They offered him the fight.
Just
And Tank
imagine
said
if
no.
Tank announced he was fighting Cambosis and in the outrage he'd get from the fans if he announced he was
No, he
getting
wouldn't. No, he would.
Cambosis.
He
No, at
fought
that point,
Abner Mares.
he wouldn't have got it because he would have been under.
He
He
fought
wouldn't have got
Leo
it because he would
Santa
have been
Cruz.
undisputed. He would have been undisputed. He wouldn't have got nothing. Now Frank Martin
He
hasn't
fought
beat
Hugo
nobody.
Ruiz.
Frank Martin hasn't beat nobody. He could have fought Devin or Shakur. I mean, he could have fought Shakur or Devin. Got more money. Ryan Garcia is a popular media person, but he's not the best boxer. He would have got more money. Hector Garcia, he should have fought Devin, or he should have fought Devin,
Stuttering?
or no, I'm not stuttering. I'm in the
Yeah, you
middle of
are.
doing something.
Because you don't know
No,
what you're
I'm in the
talking
middle.
about.
I do know what I'm talking about. Why didn't
You're
Tank
trying
fight
to
him?
figure out what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
So why? Explain to me
I'm
this.
just
Why
ready.
was Tank WBA regular
You're
champion
rambling
and
right
he
now
never
at this point.
activated
You're
it?
rambling. You're really
I'm not
rambling at this
rambling.
point.
Eugene, when you're ready, let me know.
I'm not rambling. Tell me why didn't he activate his status?
You're
He
rambling
could
at
have
this
done it.
point, brother.
Sir, why
You
didn't
got
he
so
activate
much
his
hate for
status?
Tank, bro. It's cool, man.
It's
You
not
know what
hate
I'm
for
saying?
Tank. I was a Tank fan until Frank
Get
Martin
off your knees for
answered
Tank,
the
man.
question.
You on your knees for Tank.
No, I'm not. Answer the question
You on
for
your
me. Why
knees.
didn't he activate his status?
You talk
He
about
had
Tank
his
more than the
chance.
fans do.
I don't talk about Tank. It's just when
Yes,
you
you
go
do.
out and you
Every
post.
day in the group chat, you're talking about Tank, bro. You wake up to talk
No,
about
because
Tank.
you are
You're
a
thinking
dude.
about Tank when you
Tank
go to sleep.
wears.
You probably got a Tank picture on your wall right now.
Obviously, I don't. I'm calling him out for what he's doing. Answer the
Okay.
question.
Tank,
Why hasn't
Tank
Tank
this,
activated
Tank
his
that.
status?
Tank ain't did this, Tank ain't did that. That's all you do
So
every day, bro.
no, I don't.
PBC ain't did that. David Benavidez ain't did that. Like
I
you
didn't
just
say
a
nothing
pure
about David.
hater,
No, I
bro.
didn't say
You're a
nothing about
pure
David.
hater in the
Hey,
If
sport. You're
David
not
okay.
lost
a
his
big
fight,
fan of the
look,
sport for real. You don't even cover the sport. You didn't even watch none of the fights that happened yesterday. You don't cover the
actually, I
sport. You're
did. I
not a
didn't watch
big
the
fan of the
female
sport for
fights.
real, bro.
You're not a fan of the
Okay.
sport.
So, all right, y'all, hold on. Let B drop something.
He a
Go ahead,
bullshitter.
B.
Okay. First off, I just want to go with I love your guys. I love this YouTube your guys' debate. It's actually interesting. Like I'm getting interested in it. It's actually because I'm like learning stuff. So I like when have debate. First off, I don't do the whole it's running boxing stuff. I'm with Jay. I don't get into all that. Whatever. As far as Shakur or Tio or Shakur, I have friends. Eugene have a knockout. I got Eugene in an interview with Ortiz. I have friends
Cortez.
on the Cortez. I have people. Eugene knows. I know a couple ex promoter stuff. I hear it's getting close to finalized. If it's Shakur versus Tio, Tio will beat the holy hell out of Shakur. Shakur Stevenson is a great fighter. I'm on his Facebook. He talks to like people in his chat. I mean, he's seen a nice guy. He's quick with his body movement, but I know something. His foot speed's decent. Shakur's foot movement's decent, but he's really quick with his upper body. Tio's foot movement is so fast. I think. But here's my thing. Shakur could have fought Loma, which I think it was Jay. Jay, was it you that said it and he didn't? Was it Jay? Excuse me. Was it Jay or the other that said that he didn't fight Loma? He could have fought Loma. Eugene, so are you asking me what I think about Shakur, or what do you
Pretty
want?
much like, just on their back and forth, some of the things they said.
Okay, so as far as my main thing is, I think with Jay, I'm with Jay on that. I'm with him. You look at someone's resume, and then you look at who they beat, and then you look how that person did after they beat them. I think that matters. You can say what you want. Zepeda had Shakur hurt on that ropes. Eugene, would you agree? He had him stung a little bit. Was it Jay that said he hasn't been anyone in there with anyone who puts pressure on him? Was that you, Jay? He hasn't. Was that you that said that? That Shakur hasn't been with anyone that puts pressure on him? I think it was Jay. So I'm with Jay on that. That's on that part. That's all I have to add. I'm good there. I'm with Jay. And also, what was the other guy's name? I'm sorry.
Mike.
Eugene. Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. You made some really good points too. Mike, you made some good points. So, Mike, can I ask you, what do you think is Shakur's resume? I wonder what your opinion is on it, Mike. If I could.
Here's the thing. I don't like Shakur.
You don't.
I'm just calling it. I don't like Shakur.
I just want your opinion on his resume because I like. I'm like.
Neither of them have good resumes. Him nor Tank have good resumes.
No, and
but here's a fact that I'm throwing out.
Do you agree with me? Tank Dunk Loma. He did.
I'm not. Here's the deal with at this point with Loma right now.
I'm talking about back then, though. Back then, Tank could have fought him.
He didn't. Y'all have to look at something. He just recently came up to 135. That was 2023.
Well,
Loma has been kind of sparsely fighting. So
Do you remember Floyd saying Tank wasn't ready for Loma? I do remember that.
I've said it a lot of times. But what I'm saying is, I'm not knocking Shakur for not doing the fight.
Yeah, I like that. Mike, I'm agree with you. I don't hate a fighter for not doing a fight unless
fight I'm not knocking them off.
Unless they sit there and say, I'm gonna fight you, I'm gonna do all this and then back out. Then I'm like, but Tank didn't do that. But if you say I'm gonna fight this guy.
Oh yeah, Tank did do that. He refused to fight. He said he was gonna fight Shakur. He said he was on his list. He didn't fight Shakur.
Yeah.
That's all I'm throwing out facts out there. I'm on personal opinion.
Eugene, after this, are we going to do the breakdown of the Pitbull and Pitbull fight?
We're better off going to this because this is going to be a back and forth argument forever, man.
Yeah, let's just do it.
I'm just happy.
You have Tank fanboys that no matter what, and you show it up to them. Yeah.
Let my guy say something.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's up, Scope?
Hey yo, when it comes to resumes, to be honest, like there aren't a lot of fighters, in my opinion, above, I'll say like 122, 126 with just like, oh my God, resumes. Because once you get above into over 135, in my opinion, now you're getting into guys who are becoming protected by the promoters.
Well,
130 and under.
So I was going to
130 and under, they have to fight each other because that's the only way they're going to make real money.
Exactly.
135 and up.
Kia Lopez has prime Lomachenko on his resume.
Yes, he does. My only issue with team. Yes, it is. I'm not counting that. Just let me finish real quick.
Yes,
my only issue. No, you good, dog. Everyone got good points. Some are more entertaining, some more analytical. I take a more.
And Josh Taylor too.
I take a more historical standpoint to it. So Tio, the only problem with Tio is he fights up and down to his competition.
Yes, he does.
Right?
He does. I agree. When it's higher, the bigger the fighter, the better he fights. I agree with that.
I'm not saying he's not going to show up for Stevenson.
He's going to beat Stevenson's ass. I guarantee it.
To me, resumes don't punch back. Okay,
exactly. I agree with you.
Resumes only help to a certain degree. In my opinion, they don't tell the whole story of a fighter.
Yes, sir. I agree. I agree.
So Tio has two victories that are questionable: the Ortiz victory, Jermaine Ortiz, and the Sandor Martin victory.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Even though Ortiz has quick feet, it's not like he don't. Teofimo got quick feet. Lopez got. The problem is he don't know how to cut off the ring. Sandor Martin and Jermaine took advantage of that.
Bro, point on. You are 100% right.
Now,
I'm not gonna argue with that.
I'm not saying that Steve. Now here's my thing with Stevenson. He don't like to get hit in the face. He's admitted that multiple times. When he fought Nakatilia, he said they asked him, "You started off fast, and then you took off the gas after round 4, round 5." He said, "Well, he hit me with something crazy, and I didn't want to get touched no more." When he fought William Zepeda, he said, "I got touched more than I wanted to, and I'm going back." And I'm going back to just winning fights. Sometimes you got to say screw the fans to win a fight. Now, that's my thing with Stevenson. I think Stevenson will win up until he gets punched in the face. Whenever Lopez cracks him, which he will find him eventually, he will crack him.
Tio can crack
That's
you.
when we'll see if Stevenson will double down and try to keep Lopez off of him.
Bite down the mouth guard and fight it back.
Like Crawford has tried to teach Stevenson to do. There's examples you can find video footage of this of Crawford and Stevenson. Crawford is showing him when a guy crowds you on the inside, take a slight step to the right, and then you can counter off of it and still move out of the way. And Stevenson said, "Why not just slide and completely move out of the way?" And Crawford said, "Because you want them to respect your power." So I see the fight going in Stevenson's favor until he gets hit by Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Stevenson will fold, but I'm saying Stevenson won't. He's going to be fighting not to get hit, not to just win at that point.
I say that's it. Shakur's on record after he fought William Zepeda in his post press conference saying that he won't fight the same way that he fought in that fight with Zepeda. He's going to revert back to his old style, being defensive and less offense. And
as the
watcher, let me ask you guys, watcher, do you like a guy that's going to be very defensive and don't provide much offense in the fight?
Well, I'm an offense. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It all depends to me.
I'm a Jack Dempsey fan, so I like aggressiveness, but I respect defense like Floyd Pep and Mayweather and Sweet Pea, and you know what I mean. So I respect the sweet science as much as anybody.
Yeah, it got to be a balance to me. You can't be so defensive that your offense is at a low punch output, and you're not being as productive.
Kind of like that James Toney mix, Eugene.
You have to be balanced.
Like that James Toney mix, Eugene. Like that James Toney mix.
I think the closest person to kind of get away with being more defensive than Austin was Tevin Farmer. I think that's like the last fighter to really get away with it and be a world champion.
What about Sweet Pea? Sweet Pea, he was balanced.
I mean
more recently.
I can say
more recently to be more defensive minded.
James Toney had
defense. We all boxing fans here, so we understand that some of these fighters in the fire, you gonna get hit with some shots. You know what I mean? This is all about you gotta have to provide some entertainment. And when you provide entertainment, that's you providing offense to the table when it comes up to fights. And some of these fighters is not willing to do so more than other fighters.
Exactly. Like you can go back in history and look.
I'm gonna say this. Let me say this real quick.
Yes, sir.
Let me say this. With David Benavidez, he's the fighter that we should be backing.
And better Biev as well.
Hold on. Let me tell you quick. Yeah, like with David Benavidez, like he's a guy that we should be backing and getting behind because he's the fighter that he's a real true throwback fighter, old school fighter. For us, he's doing what you want to do as a fighter. He's trying to accomplish those accolades as far as undisputed and everything, but then he's getting blocked out with certain particular fights and certain particular situations. You know what I mean? So a guy like David Benavidez, he's willing to fight whoever, whenever, however, and let's get behind guys like that. But that's what I'm saying.
If I may say something, remember Paul Williams?
Just a handful of guys. It's a whole lot of fighters. There's hundreds of fighters out here that's out here trying to grind and get to the top. Right now, we in the diva era. This is the diva era of boxing. For the main guys that we talk about with Tank, Shakur, Devin, Teofimo Lopez,
I
Ryan
want to say one thing
Garcia.
about Tio.
All of these guys are
Tio made this.
divas.
The fight's supposed to be getting close. Hold
on, my guy, B.
Hold
Hold on, B.
Yes,
Hold on. I want this to be like understood.
Yes, sir.
Right now, we are in the diva era of boxing right now.
I agree.
A lot of the top guys are divas, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? They're not the guys that we grew up watching in the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. They're just not that, and we have to be, realistic to that situation,
Well, I
and
think
just
it's
understand
because
that it's other
that's all of a
fighters that's
media
out there,
perspective.
like my guy, Scooter Davis. Scooter
I think
Davis,
it's more of a media perspective if you
fighter
ask me,
Tommy
though.
right now.
Because if you go to Japan,
Just
to
for the
them,
record,
boxing
Tio
never
did call
died.
for the
If
fight
you go to
versus
Mexico, boxing
Shakur.
never died for them.
Hey,
If you go to UK, boxing never died for them. You know what I'm saying? I think in America, we just get so big on. America's the only country where you can become a world champion in boxing, and we still ask you, well, what else can you do? Can you talk?
Right.
Can you dance? Can you rap?
Absolutely,
Can you
bro.
act?
I
Can you
bet you
sing?
hear that, Biz.
Like, we're the only country that literally like shouted to the world, oh my God, none of our heavyweights are good. Oh my God, none of our light heavyweights are good. Oh my
One
God,
fighter
boxing
lose,
is
one
dead
fight.
now. Oh my God, none of
Can I
our
say one
middleweights are
thing, though?
good. Boxing is
For the
dead. And it's like,
record,
no,
Let me
boxing is not
yeah,
dead.
Biz.
Boxing is an
I like what you
American
talking
sport.
right there.
It's
Even with
international.
we're the
Everyone
only
is so
country
focused.
after a fight, when one fight like Earl Spence, one fighter lose one fight, then we're dead in
but
that
that
fighter
was
after
a
they lose one
that
fight.
was
Like
post car wreck
that shit
Spence. That
nasty,
wasn't
man.
Spence.
That's
Come on.
nasty work for real, bro.
That was
Like
post.
I
Can I
don't
say
care
one
if
thing,
Tank
though?
is like, and I'm gonna
It's
tell you
just,
this. Let me say this and put this
Yes, sir.
on
Yes,
record.
sir.
I'm gonna say this on my brother Bean on show tonight. If Tank lost one or two or three or four fights, I wouldn't give a damn. I'm still supporting him
Exactly. I still support
because
my guys. Yeah, I
if
still
you
support
support
Tio
a
when he
guy, you
lost.
support on win, lose, or draw. When Earl
Hey,
got his ass whooped
can
by
I say one thing? Can I
when he
say
got
one
his ass
thing?
whooped by Bud Crawford, I was
Hey,
devastated.
can I say
I
one
lost
thing?
money on the fight and everything. I'm just saying,
For the
like in
record,
general,
I just want to say, for the record,
we
Tio
gotta
called.
even after win, lose, or draw, we should back these fighters in
Hey,
America
can I say for
regardless.
the record,
All right. I
Teofimo
agree with
Lopez
that,
is the
Cam
one that
J.
called out Shakur Stevenson for the fight and made it happen. For the record, Tio made
look,
this.
and I'll even
Tio
go
called
far as to
Shakur
say
out on,
this.
and it's making it happen. Tio called out on Twitter, making it happen. I'm just for the record.
I'll even go as far as to say this: American media is the reason HBO is dead, because HBO tried so desperately to cash in on the quote unquote next American star that by the time they realized, oh wait a minute, they're like, oh wait a minute, we need to wait. These little guys are all fighting each other. These chicks are
here's
all
the thing,
fighting each
though.
other.
Can I say
That's where
this?
the action is. And by the time they wanted to develop, into that, all the fans had left by then. And that was HBO's fault.
So
Because
Tio called out
and also
made it happen.
getting rid of boxing after dark, allowing the Cold War to happen, HBO trying to be matchmaker in a sport that wasn't going to allow a broadcaster to play those games. That was what allowed HBO to fall out. And with Showtime, the only reason Showtime fell out was because they didn't, in my opinion, I don't know why they didn't try to mass consolidate boxing in America from the HBO guys. You know what I'm saying? Because what PBC is, it should have been so much more. Like what Riata season is what PBC should have been. But once again, we got so caught up in, well, if you don't want to fight him, it's okay if you don't. The fans were saying that. The fans were allowing these fighters to say, it's all good, I'll still pay for it. That's where the problem came in, where fans would still willing to pay. And if you say anything bad about any of these fighters, Tank, Jamel, Shakur, Ryan, those type of guys, you're automatically hating. And we got to find a way to stop that within the fans. It's a fans thing. You know what I'm saying? Fans are just so hard on trying to ride a winner that they're losing sight of what actually matters. And that's natural selection in the sport of boxing. And we can't have it if the fans are backing up fighters. I'll go watch them fight a broom. No, you should not go watch them fight a broom.
So, are we taking down the people fighting? Are you?
Okay.
I was, because you're about to be.
You still there, Mike?
You still there,
Mike where?
Mike where?
You got a mic out.
I think
Ken,
Mike
Dre, you still
gone.
there?
Y'all
I can
still
hear
here?
you.
You hear
Okay.
me?
Okay, y'all still there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this like far as the fans' perspective, as far as with fighters, as far as myself, like for instance, I'll give an example. Adrian Broner. I'm from
Hey,
Cincinnati. Adrian Broner, he's from Cincinnati, right? I'm a
did you
fan of
see? Hey,
Adrian Broner,
did you see
but right
Broner's gonna
now,
skip out on a meal check? Did you see that?
hold on. Yeah. Let me talk about AB real quick. Let me get this off real quick.
I love JB
So,
too, man. He's from
yeah, man,
Ohio.
definitely much love to AB. Much love and prayers to my guy. So with AB, it's not about like a lot of fans. They'd be like, "Oh, AB, like he trying to get back in the fight and stuff like that and getting fights." It's not about AB fighting at this moment. It's about the
He's
person.
wasted talent to me.
When I'm a fan of a fighter, I'm a fan of where they came from,
That's
how
what.
they, how they put their grind on from when they were, younger on up until they was an adult. You know what I mean? And with AB, of course, him being from Cincinnati and we from Cincinnati and stuff, we
And
got a little
I'm
close
from
instance
Ohio,
with
so
him
yeah.
to
Well, I
where,
thought. Hey, I thought
AB right
Usyk.
now,
I was thinking he could be the best Ohio
AB is
boxer,
not
but
a
it's he
yeah,
didn't
hold on,
have.
hold on,
I
hold
feel
on, my
like
guy. Hold on,
Pavlik's
my guy.
better.
Hold on, my guy. B. Hold on. Slow down, my dog. Hold on, let me get this off, man. Hold on. You gotta relax. You gotta have the proper etiquette with the panel, man. Let somebody talk first, and then we let the floor go to the next person. You know what I mean? We gotta have proper etiquette with this. You know what I mean? So back to AB. AB, it's not about him being a fighter right now, because we know, for as him trying to make another run, it's not possible, most likely. You know what I'm saying? Being in the mid 30s, you know what I mean? And kind of right now, you've seen his last fight with Blair Cobbs, wasn't a great look for him 100%. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying in general, where AB is about the person now. It's about getting
Helping
him the
him
proper help.
mentally.
It's about caring for him and praying for him far as what he has going on personally as the person. You know what I'm
Eh,
saying? When I'm a fan of a fighter, I'm a fan with the person and the fighter.
yeah, you
Yeah,
want to
I
see him
love the
do good
way
after
Bud
boxing.
Crawford fights, but I'm not that crazy about Bud as a person 100% as a fan. That's just me personally. I respect Bud 100% what he done for the sport, and I respect a lot of stuff that he does outside of boxing and stuff for Omaha, etc., and all of that. But
Yeah,
some stuff that Bud does as a person, I don't care for. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of AB as the person because I know him personally, and I'm like, I want my man to be well. I want him to do well with him being, mentally, right, and as the person, not with him being just a fighter. And I think some people that are fans of fighters, they just so fanned out and so on with them being a fighter, they're not, expanding on them as being a person too.
mm,
Because if you're a fan of the fighter, you should be a fan of the person along with the
I agree
fighter.
with that.
That's
I
how
agree
I
with that.
look at it.
100%. So my brother, he used to do amateur boxing, and he knows Kelly Pavlik, and I feel the same way. Like he's doing good now, like bodybuilding and stuff. But he was into drinking and stuff. So I agree with what you're saying. You want to be a fan of the boxer, not just or the person too, not just the boxer. You know what I mean? Like Pavlik went through some shit, and I think Pavlik's the best Ohio boxer ever. But he went through that. He went through that drinking phase. But now he's into bodybuilding. But like you said, you care about the person, not just the boxer. I agree with that.
Pavlik's a legend
Yeah, my
of
brother's
Ohio.
dude. Hey, Eugene, my brother said he might be able to get him on your podcast. The next one we do, if you can, I'll do it with you if you don't mind. We're gonna get what's his name that fought Mike Tyson, Peter McNeely. I already talked to
Peter
him. So
McNelly.
yeah, he said he'll
Okay.
do it with us. Yeah, he said he'd do it with us.
Cool.
I told him I
Sounds
said we
good.
just left. Yeah, I got you, Eugene. You know I got you, brother.
Situation. I was actually interested. It was like over 15 years ago. He was scheduled to fight Andre Ward, but the fight got canceled because Ted Goosen died of cancer, and then there was a lawsuit with Andre Ward, and Goosen
Yeah,
threw
I
the
remember that. He was
promotion.
out what
Hey,
3 years,
Desmond,
right?
where you from, Desmond?
I'm from Texas. Well, originally from
You
New
from
Orleans.
Texas?
Originally
Okay.
From
from New Orleans,
Texas.
but I reside in Texas.
Are you a Mavericks fan?
No, not
Wait
really.
a
When
minute.
it comes to Not really. I mean, I support the team definitely. When it comes to basketball, I'm kind of a rogue.
What about football?
When it comes to basketball,
Football, it's all Green Bay.
Saints bleed black and gold. You know, even though we trash bag right now, I'm still a
Yeah,
Saints
right.
fan.
looking bad right
Steelers are
there.
3-1.
I did. So
Yeah.
like, what fighters you like out that way down south, like in Texas and everything?
When it comes to Texas fighters, I remember there was a time where it was like a hotbed. You had Charles Hatley out here. You had both the
Right.
Charlos. Maurice Hooker was popping. Obviously, you had Errol Spence. Erislandy Lara lives in Galveston.
Hey,
Your Dennis
I'll be
Eder,
right back.
he lives in the area as well. Or used to live in
I'll be
the.
right back
in
after
the
the pizza. I'll be right back.
he used to live around in the area. But there aren't a lot of Texas guys coming up like right now. But as far as like my favorite fighters right now, I can give you. I've always been a fan of Erislandy Lara. I'll probably be a fan of his until he go away. I've always loved his story, and representing that Cuban style. You know, a lot of those guys, they have a rich history in boxing, going all the way back to Jose Napoles.
Absolutely.
And Kid Gavilan and Kid Chocolate. So. Also, I'm a big fan of Bam Rodriguez. I think he needs as much. I said as much as Mexican Americans get behind Canelo, they should be behind Bam. Because Bam is everything they think Canelo is, but isn't. Bam literally wants the smoke, the hookah, the vapor, the steam, all of it. You know what I'm saying? Do I think he can beat in a way? No, I think he can go to a decision to be fight of the year. But
I like that. I like the perspective of that with him and Inoue, because like that's a fight that a lot of people kind of put in perspective with them, even though they're a couple weight classes out. And Bam has aspirations of moving up and possibly facing him. And I mean, I would love to see that fight if they can make that happen though in the future though. That'll be a lovely fight. Bam is a guy that, like, for us, like you just said, for us, the Mexican culture, a lot of people need to get more behind him. Which I think a lot of people are getting behind him. He's building a strong fan base, within the fights that he's been having at the division that he's at. But
only problem is size, in my opinion. That's the only thing is size. Because as Roy Jones Jr. said,
him being so small and being at that weight class.
The average fan, when they see a fighter they like, they try to duplicate what they do. You know what I'm saying? But if someone's literally under 5'5" and they're throwing a million punches around, hitting these crazy angles, you can't really duplicate that with your boys. That doesn't translate to you as far as natural. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing Roy has said that puts things into perspective. I'm a big fan of the Asian coach. I'm a karate guy at first,
absolutely.
MMA, but love boxing. So like I love Junto Nakatani. I love Yushiro.
You notice Junto? Let me add a little context with Junto. He's number one in the WBC and number one in the WBO at 122 for now anyway. So
that fight's going to break the
process
record
with him within that fight, because of course, now anyway, he's about to fight David Picasso December 27th in Saudi Arabia for the Japan versus the World card, which is Junto Nakatani. He's going to be fighting on that card as well. He's going to be the co-main event, and so they're pushing for us a big fight in Japan with Nawa anyway and Junto Nakatani.
I got a source that tells me that I got a source that tells me they're trying to do it at Tokyo Dome, and
hell yeah, that's what they're gonna do with it.
And also, I think what a lot of people don't know is the Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao gate is the biggest in America. Okay, absolutely. It's not the biggest in Japan. In Japan, it was Kameda and another fighter, and they like doubled the gate over there to the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. And then more people watched that fight in Japan than they did the Mayweather Pacquiao fight in America. So Japan has their own bubble of boxing stratosphere that doesn't need to be touched by us at all and still thrive. Because what a lot of people don't know is Japan has three ongoing rivalries with three other countries. And that's the Philippines, Mexico, and Australia. So they're always going to have a funneling of boxers to go through because of the Oceania division, how it just spreads out. But the Nakatani and Inoue fight, that's going to be a legendary fight. And that's the only fight I think that Inoue can lose, because Nakatani's a monster. Power in both hands, speed, fight inside and outside, good enough defense, ring generalship, and he answers fire with fire. You're going to need that with Nakatani. You have to answer fire with Inoue. So I think Nakatani has enough attributes and on paper factors to win the fight. Can he actually do it? Because Inoue has over 20 championship victories. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in like 20 straight. He's in like 15 or 16 straight championship fights, or like 20 straight. He's been a champion since like his single digits. You know what I'm saying? He has double-digit championship against champions in the double digits. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't know is like I think he won his first belt off of Anselmo Moreno, who had over 40 fights and had ruled the division for like 5-6 years. 15, 16 title defenses. So like, that's the thing about, America, you'll hear people like Steve saying, well, I don't know who that guy is. Just because you don't know who he is, just because the American media doesn't know who he is, doesn't mean they're not a good fighter. So here's the thing. I wanted to like Tank, but how his team has moved him, and then how he doubled down on that movement, has made me to just come to the conclusion Tank's an elite fighter who just does not want to fight elite fighters.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I'm not even mad that you say that. The reason why I say that is because of the fact that me as a fan of his, do I like the J. Paul fight? And Ben, he already know. We talked about this several times, and you already know. If y'all look at my channel, I haven't even covered this Tank and J. Paul fight at all on my channel at all. Hey, so it shows you that I don't care about this fight as much as I care about the undercard fights more so than the actual fight itself. That's the main event for that particular night for November 14th.
Here's
So
my
I'm just
theory.
saying in general with Tank Davis, far as I'm gonna just say this, of course, I'm sat there with the sport. I got sources and stuff. Source told me that Tank needs a break from the sport because Tank is tired of him waking up daily and getting hated on from fans and media daily. And I tell you that the hate that Tank Davis gets, he gets just as much hate as Floyd did for running the game. And that's why he's been expressive about that in recent times where he's been like, man, I gotta be one that hate on the person to get, to lose. It's a lot of pressure on him. Just imagine it yourself. You wake up in your day and tap into your phone and then you go on Twitter and you got all these mentions, all of these people tagging you, your posts and tweets and all of this stuff from Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. And you wake up and you see these guys saying like, you ain't did this, you ain't did that, and they doing this and all that. Just imagine.
Well, I understand from a personal humanitarian
I'm gonna
situation.
break it down in depth a little bit more. Even with Tank getting all of that shit, he signed up for it. And I told Bean this and I told people in our chat about it. I said, yeah, you get all of this hate and everything, but you wanted this spot. You claimed this spot as far as you being face of boxing. Of course, a lot of the boxing game revolves around you to where a lot of stuff is being made around your name and stuff. And on top of that, yeah, you're the one that's doing the numbers and you're doing what you're supposed to do for us, the numbers, etc. But at the
Here's the
same time,
problem.
you can't complain when you get the hate from the media and the fans because it's a part of the sport. It's a part of it. Floyd
Here's
dealt
how I
with
agree
it
with
very
you.
well. Floyd dealt with it by fighting the guys that the fans said he wasn't going to fight. And that's where it comes down to where with me with Tank. Tank has to right the wrongs as far as with that rematch, gotta run that back.
But yeah, I
Shakur,
agree.
you can't be going back and forth with Shakur back and forth on Twitter. And you ain't gonna fight that man. You can't say that man trash and say that he born, and you ain't gonna fight that man. I feel like Tank gotta fight those two guys. If Tank fight Roach and Shakur after he fight Jake Paul, and whether he win, lose, or draw with either guy, I'm cool with what he done in his career. 100%.
Here's,
We just want to see the content. Give us the content and fight those two guys.
here's where I agree with you, and here's my take on it as well. So what was it, 7, 8 years ago when they tried to announce the American media tried to anoint the next 4 kings before it even took place. T.O., Tank, Shakur, Devin, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they tried to announce that. You can't announce what natural selection hasn't made true. That's one thing. Second, everyone surpassed Tank as far as what they're going to do and what they want to do. All right? Devin,
Could you say as far as accomplishments, accolades?
Accomplishments, accolades, and who they're going to fight. And I say that because we can say all we want about the Devin Lomachenko fight, right? He still became undisputed. He still moved up and decided to challenge guys who were like, we don't know if you can win, dog. He said, I don't care.
But Regis Regis' program wasn't that type of fight for Devin. We knew Regis was a layup for Devin. That's what I'm saying with the resumes. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying in general. We can't say like a lot of these guys be like, we gonna keep it 100. I wanted to be on the table with this.
Then
A lot of these guys from that era, and I'm gonna name all of them: Tank, Devin, Shakur, T.O., and including Ryan Garcia. We just named those 5 guys. All of those guys has been, really put in, fights to where it was situational, where it was a reason why they fought the guys they fought.
No, I understand what you're saying on that. You should have let me
It
finish.
happens in the cases with a lot of these boxers in general. Like a lot of these promotional companies, that's why I say it comes down when people be like, "Oh, this person hurt in the sport of boxing, this person hurt in the sport of
I get what
boxing."
you're saying.
We
Can I
can't
finish?
put all the harness on one guy. We gotta put the harness on a lot of people. Like the sport is hurt from so many different aspects, and it's mainly from the promoters and the managers.
Yeah,
You
I
know
know.
what I
Can I
mean?
finish?
Go ahead. I just wanted to lay that foundation on that.
One thing you'll understand with me as you talk to me more, how knowledgeable I am, how much I understand, even though I'm pretty young. Gene will tell you. But
you're very knowledgeable, bro. You're very knowledgeable.
What I was gonna say is this: I was gonna be like, I knew Dev was gonna have a hard time with Ryan. I don't know if other people thought that, but I knew he was gonna have a hard time with Ryan. Okay, so I didn't actually think he was gonna beat that fight. I didn't think that was gonna be a cakewalk for him at all. And then with unifications mattered to me, fighting other active champions. Tank has not done that. Another situation comes in where Tank is being done in the PBC how Terrence was being done with Top Rank. Keith, Devin, Danny, Errol, Sean, they were all on PBC, Terrence on Top Rank. They pretty much hit him with if you ain't gonna come over here, leave him where he at. And that's how these other guys are treating Tank now. If you're not gonna come over here, leave you where you at to do your own thing. Because the way they're all circulating, eventually those fights are gonna get made because that's what Turkey wants. You know what I'm saying? So with Tank, 50-50, A, he kind of talked his way out of the realities and stuff. And B, he had no other options at this point in his mindset, quote unquote, but to fight Jake Paul for a bag because his mindset was, well, damn, Devin getting paid a grip to fight Brian. Ryan just got to pay the grip to fight Rolly. I beat both of them. Shakur getting paid a grip to fight T.O., and T.O. always getting a grip no matter when he fight because he a diva. And my only option is Lamont Roach for pennies on a dollar. What are my other options?
let me ask you right here.
So
You really think them guys is getting paid over there like that crazy?
yeah,
You know, Bud Crawford
yeah.
only made 2.5 man fighting Nazareth, right?
That's officially. We don't know what's getting made on the back end or what's being made under the table.
It wasn't no
That
back
oil
end
money is
because
deep.
they lost out $10 million on that fight, so it wasn't no back end.
We don't know officially. That's why I say when it
It
comes like Don
wasn't.
King
How
was
can
paying
you
guys
make a back end
unofficially.
if you lose $2 million?
I don't. Maybe not an official back end, but something under the
Ain't no
table.
back end if you lose $10 million, my dog. I'm just saying
No,
in
I
general.
understand what
He
you're saying,
got
but I said
2.5
maybe not
guaranteed to
on
fight
the oil.
Nazareth, and that's what it was. A lot of guys a lot of people think that Turkey's throwing a lot of money to these guys. They're not. That man Shakur is the same guy. He made 2.1 to fight, Kid Austin, but Kid Austin ended up back in the fight. So they honored that money with him pulling in Padley for that particular fight. And then when it came down to him fighting Zepeda, the man Shakur was talking shit about Turkey, saying that he was
Yeah,
trying to lowball him and pay him less money than what he made in the Padley fight. So
I
I'm just saying
understand
in
what you're
general, hold on,
saying,
hold on,
but
hold on. Listen to
no,
me.
no, I'm listening. I
Turkey
just have a
ain't
rebuttal
paying
for what you're
out
saying because this
everybody
goes
all of
into
this. And then
another
even
promotional tactic.
let me add context to it. Think about him with the TKO and with the TKO and Dana White and the whole Ali Revival Act, and we can add context to that with that. Dana White is the guy that owes $375 million to UFC right now for to unpaid, payments to fighters that he had on UFC. And then he just got this deal with Paramount, right? You know what I'm saying? And then it goes into the fact that you look at the Revival Act, they're literally trying to, and they have a set payment for the prospects, the fighters that on each
Yeah,
fight,
I know that. We
the
talked about this
champion is
last
only
time on
going to
your
get
channel. I brought that to
500K.
life.
The champion only going to
Yeah,
get
remember, I brought that to
500K for
life. I talked
defending
about
that
that on your
title. So I'm
channel.
just saying in general, Dana White is working with Turkey Al Sheikh right now, and he's literally about to the money is about to be limited for boxing if you're working under TKO boxing over there. I'm just saying in general, the money. Do you think the money that Turkey's giving out is not substantial that everybody thinks that he's giving out? And that's the
I
truth of the
know.
matter. The
Yeah,
man
yeah,
Shakur
just
Stevenson, he's a B-side fighter. The man David Devin, he's a B-side fighter. All of these guys been fighting on undercards. None of these guys been main eventing on any of these cards that they're fighting under Turkey. The man Devin Haney was an undercard co-main to Ryan Garcia, the same guy that cheated on. It's
yes, I
nasty
know what you're
work, bro.
saying.
When we
I'm
think
not.
about all of this in perspective, bro, like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
Like
do.
a lot
But
of these guys are chasing the bag in different
I
ways. A lot of
understand
y'all
that. But
just
this is
don't
where
see
my
it that
knowledge and other
why
things
they're
come
trying to
into
chase the
play.
bag.
But
Like
this is
the
where my
man
knowledge
Devin Haney was literally about to fight on Black Crown
yeah,
before he went over there and got on his knees and had his dick eat Turkey Al-Sheikh
yeah, I know
for
all
a
that.
couple
All
That's
right.
why.
fights.
Hey,
That's
my
why, for
brothers,
context, I was.
can you
Yeah,
hear me?
We
Okay.
yeah.
hear you, bro.
I ain't going to be on here too much longer. And I love the conversation. And it can get real deep with this type of stuff. Because I know KMJ goes deep. I know Skull goes deep. But I'm on a little bit of a time limit. There are a few
All right, I'll
things
wrap.
I want to touch on
What's
before we
up?
leave. I want to ask y'all a few
Go ahead,
questions
go ahead.
before we close. Okay? And that is pertaining to some of the trainers and fighters. So what do you feel about Jonathan Banks and Carolyn Dubois?
Maybe Jonathan Banks and Daniel Dubois
Carolyn, the sister.
and Carolyn. She don't even need that much. She already solid. I think hopefully he'll help her with her. Hopefully he'll help her establish her jab more and use the jab to open up more power shots because that's what Kronk is supposedly known for their trademark, using their jab to open up for the power shots down the line.
Right. For sure. What you think, KMJ?
It'd be interesting. I mean, it's just really interesting. On like I seen Caroline Dubois. She put out a tweet yesterday talking about Alicia moving up to 135 to face her for her title, which is I would love that fight because that's amazing fight right there between those two women right there, and they both got great names in the sport, especially Alicia. And they need to run it, man. Like women's boxing, I feel like women's boxing to elevate women's boxing. When you got certain names like that with Alicia and Caroline Dubois, you got to run those type of fights. Run those type of fights, with those names or those women to elevate the sport. And I don't think Alicia is scared of Caroline Dubois at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she's scared of any of these women, around her, her weight, her weight class, and, whether it's 130 or 135, which is Dubois, Caroline, she's at 135, and Alicia, she's at 130 right now. And Alicia, she's about to fight as the co-main event on that Tank and Jake card, and she's fighting a 12 round, 3 minute, no, 3 minute round fight. In this fight, defending three titles, she ended up vacating that WBC so she can have this 12 round and 3 minute fight. And I'm interested to see how Alicia do, man. I'm a big fan of Alicia, and definitely want to see her do well, man. And with Caroline Dubois, she's nice as hell. She a dope woman in the boxing,
Facts.
and I hope that Alicia and her they can come to where they can make that fight happen. That'll be a dope fight with Caroline for as a trainer and stuff. No, anything to elevate her. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'll say that.
Okay. Okay. What about trainer Diaz, trainer Baji Ennis, and Jack Catterall?
That will work
That's a crazy mix right there.
because Catterall, in my opinion, already has a rhythmic style. Because
Yeah.
one thing about England boxing, people think all English fighters fight the same, and they don't. Depending
They
on
don't.
where
They really
you're
don't.
from,
You got your brawlers, then you got your skillful fighters like Jack Catterall. Like he's more
because
of like a skillful fighter
because
in a
when you're
sense,
from,
but he's
because
not
Body's
as
from
unskilled as he portrays.
because in my opinion, where he's from, that's where the style portrays like guys like Harold Graham, Nassim Richardson,
Right.
Carol Brook, what's his name, Junior Witter, and then they're all from like the Sheffield Steel kind of a style. You know what I'm saying? Rhythmic, inside and out. They took the amateur style and just literally revved it up for. You know what I'm saying? Some guys make it work, some guys don't. Catterall is a 1-2 fighter. 1-2 out. He's pretty much a more twitchy, quicker, less powerful version of Kell Brook. Kell Brook was flat-footed more and had more power in his shots, while Catterall is more of a tippy-toe fighter, bouncing, kind of trying to get in and out, uses 1-2, maybe a 3 behind it. You know what I'm saying? But Catterall throws punches like he's paying for them, and hopefully Bonzi can get him to throw a little bit more punches because Ennis doesn't throw punches like he's paying for them. He'll throw combinations. And that's the only thing that's missing from Catterall's game is combination punching. He's let fights get away from him because he doesn't throw enough punches.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different, mix for me with him with Posey, but it's very interesting. I mentioned it on Twitter when they posted a picture of them working together the other day. Where I was like, it's a little different. I mean, he didn't, he's about to fight a Cal Usman coming up on this
He's gonna fight
Bank Jr. and Conor Ben rematch card. And
Those South Africans don't play.
Usman tough, man. I ain't gonna lie. He tough. He
South
just
African
beat
boxing
Josh
coming
Taylor.
back
He
big.
retired Josh Taylor in that fight pretty much. I mean, he beat him 12. No, he beat him, pretty much decisively in that fight. Where Taylor he wasn't even close. Taylor maybe won 2 or 3 rounds in that fight.
South African boxing is making a big comeback. They had their time in the late 80s and 90s and kind of died out by the mid 2000s, but they're making a comeback now. And and when South African boxing gets hot, they start making upsets left and right.
Yeah, I like this matchup with Catterall and Usman. It's an interesting matchup. And with Catterall with Bozy, the question is, will Bozy get Catterall better than what he has been?
I
And
think he
that's
catches him.
where
I think
I
he's coming
grasp
early
where I'm
now.
like, I can't, I'm not 100% believer because, yeah, you get a guy like you get a new trainer. Yeah, he may treat you. He may train you some new things. But is it going to install in your mind? Is it going to install in your body to use those new tools in a fight? And I'm not sure about it until I see Catterall in the ring with Usman, November 15th in that fight. Because
Well, we're gonna find out
I
how
done
good of a
seen Catterall where he tried new things in fights and then he reversed back to his old self. So that's why I'm saying I'm not 100% sure when I'm in that with Usman.
it
Right,
all depends
right.
on how much of a good student Catterall is. You know what I'm saying? We'll just like with David Morrell, he's with uh Sanchez. I can't think of his first name. Out of Big Bear, who taught Terry Norris and Gennady Golovkin. So it's only time will tell if that Abel Sanchez, if that union will prove fruitful. It should. Morrell has the style, and Sanchez has proven that with an aggressive style, he can fine it with some technicalities to make it more devastating. So that should, but we don't know because it all comes down to the student because no one would expect Rolly Romero to absorb as much as he did from Ishmael Salas within 2 fights, but he did
Absolutely.
and proved us wrong. So I think it just all depends on the student and at times the teacher. You know what I'm saying? But
Right,
that's the
right.
thing, there aren't a lot of teachers in boxing anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
if
mean,
that
because you look,
student
just look at.
wants to be
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
sponge, I think it's going to be that good chemistry, like Bo Mack and Conor Ben. I think that's going to be a good look for Bo Mack
Yeah.
for
Well,
the
Bo
rematch
Mack
for
against Eubank
Eubank
Jr.
and Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say right now with Catterall, I mean, you just look at his last fights. You got, he had the fight with Josh Taylor and that rematch where, that first fight that he had with Taylor, a lot of people felt that he won that, and he lost that one, and then he came back in the rematch, which that rematch was close, where he won that, but he beat Regis, pretty much clear in that first fight with Helmet Regis, and then he went it on and lost to Barbosa by split decision, which is that split decision. I didn't think it was a split decision. I thought Barbosa beat him pretty handily, in my opinion. And which is it came down to where he fought Harlem Eubank. He won that fight. Harlem
I
beat
was always
Eubank
bothered by
where it was a
Barbosa because we turned
it
down
was a
two title
bad cut.
shots.
Yeah, it was a bad cut where it was a good fight between him and Harlem Eubank where they stopped the fight in the seventh round by technical decision and they gave the fight to Catterall in that fight. But I think he's seen the change to where in the last 3 4 fights I've had, I gotta make a change in with my style. I gotta try to get better and improve. And who's better than try to improve you? Bozy Ennis. He got one of the best fighters in the world with among Bruce Ennis. And
Right, right.
I don't think, of course, we all know, both of us, we all know that he ain't no Bruce Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Athletic wise, all the talent wise and all of that. But, it's an interesting factor for him bringing on Bozy and onto his camp and having him, being a part of what he got going on along with Boots. And, I'm pretty sure hopefully Catterall gets some rounds in with Boots. Get some rounds in. Hopefully, Boots got his fight coming up October 11th in a couple of weeks with Usman Lama for in a WBA title eliminator for a Baz by Rules title. And hopefully he gets some rounds in and Catterall, he stay active and be good in this fight with Usman. It's a tough fight with Usman coming up November 15th. Tough fight.
Yeah.
Usman is the dog out there, man. He going like that. He's a dog. He gonna have to give everything in that fight to beat Usman in that fight. And I hopefully both push him over the edge for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I appreciate y'all brothers, man. I'm gonna get ready to shut it down for the night. But
For
thanks
sure,
for
brother.
stopping through, and we'll be back on
Definitely.
next Sunday, man, for sure.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Absolutely. 6 p.m., man.
All right, you
Tap
too,
in with
bro.
my cousin, man, every Sunday, 6 p.m. Ringwalk Boxing Podcast live and direct, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure y'all like and y'all watch this on the playback and support my brother as much as possible for sure.
All right, have a good night.
Are y'all have a good one, fellas?
Yeah. All right, y'all. So we're gonna wrap up this segment tonight. We had another banger. It was really, really good. Thanks for everybody who came through tonight. For those who play this back tomorrow or sometime this week or whatever, please hit the thumbs up. Even when you come in and you're not actually here when I'm going live, still hit the thumbs up button, even if it's at a later date. And share the link. If it's on my wall, just click that share real quick. Takes 1 second. And let's get the word around. It's really, really growing. And in the description area, we got the link tree on my FB wall. We got the link tree as well, where you can donate, where you can shop on the online store, amongst all of the social media that I'm on, TikTok, etc. All right, so that being said, have a safe work week and a good night, and I will catch you on the next round. Peace.